Bonjour, bonjour, and welcome to Fiction After Lunch. I'm Mindy.
I am excited.
Perfect.
Let's read.
Let's read. There's no how was your week, how was your day, because we already talked about everything before the podcast. So there will be no live update for today because we have something very exciting for you today.
Yeah.
What did you do, Sam?
Well, first of all, we ate some...
What did you do? What did you eat?
First of all, we ate some potato pizza.
Oh, it was
so
nice.
There's that. And it could have been better. But it was already nice. Yeah. I didn't bring the right kind of potato. There are different kinds of potato. So,
yeah. Originally, you wanted to like smash them, but it was like the hard kind of potato. So it was like not so easy
to
make our pizza dough kind of out of it. So you just took potato slices instead.
Yeah. Potato slice pizza.
Yes.
So, and
so back to German, I guess.
Yesterday night I could not sleep, and I wrote a chapter for in between our story, an intermediate chapter 1, which is called
Scrolling.
Playing with Knives by Old Sam. And before you listen to this episode, you should have listened to season 1, or it will not make a lot of sense. And you should have also listened to season 2 of this podcast.
So you just should have listened to all of the episodes until now in a chronological order.
Yes. This particular episode is not a good episode to start listening to. If you just want to get an opinion, go away. Listen to another episode.
Why are you so mean? Like, go away.
I'm not mean. It will make no sense, and I'm sorry. Bye.
Yes. So for the people who want to stay, welcome, and welcome to the chapter Playing with Knives, written by Old Sam. So
without sleep, I did not sleep yesterday night. No. I couldn't. I'm not even tired today, but I didn't sleep at all. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
You seem like you have a lot of energy, even without sleep, so maybe you should never sleep if you're so active.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm never going to sleep again.
Good that we solved this.
Let's see how this goes.
Let's see how Old Sam, who never sleeps again,
writes a story.
I like that we're so in synchronity today. Is it synchronity?
So in sync.
So in sync.
And you will see if our microphones are well in sync, because we are. And
I will touch your microphone now.
Yeah, I've been touched indecently.
I am covering my face out of embarrassment. Okay, let's go to Play with Knives. Should I mention that we played with knives before? But everyone who listens to this part now will take this as a very weird conversation if you just cut it out. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were touched indecently, and then we played with knives before. I'm like, okay, go away. Clippers.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Mindy has very huge knives for slicing the potatoes, and they're huge knives, and I think they fit into the story well.
Perfect.
Okay.
We should take a picture of my knives and then put it on Instagram.
Yeah, without caption, without
any explanation. Just knives. Okay.
I will be the narrator, you will do the voices.
Okay.
It was cold this morning when Marcy was on her way to school. Due to her spending way too long in front of the mirror after a smoothie breakfast, she was late. This week's boyfriend was strolling behind her, legs almost twice as long as hers, and yet he was half as fast. It annoyed her to no end. She wished they would walk closer, not because she liked the smell of his deodorant, she didn't, or she wanted to hold hands, his hands were cold and sweaty, but because she was scared of the area. It wasn't a nice area.
Okay. So
I tried to stay in the style of past Sam a little bit.
It seems very when I would not know that this was written by Old Sam, I would be like, okay, this is actually written in the style from the old one, because you include actually description.
Yes,
it's not only dialogue.
This chapter has very little dialogue. And yeah.
And you have also like some short sentences, like, it wasn't a nice area. Like this. Which also your young self. Mini Sam? How do we know?
Small Sam. Mini Mindy and Small Sam.
Mini Mindy and Small Sam. Perfect.
You know I like my alliterations.
I still need to remember.
Yeah.
Okay, but Marcy has like a new boyfriend every week, so that's interesting. Let's see if he survives.
Yes. Lost her... Edit that out.
Marcy fell down. Face in a puddle, and she's like,
sound effects.
Lost in her thoughts. Oh my gosh.
Lost in her thoughts, she rounded a corner by a building which represented a gloomy box with many small windows like squinted eyes. She let out a screeching sound when she ran into a younger girl, and they both stumbled.
Oh, okay, so she just turned the corner and then she saw the house where actually Gordon lives.
Yes.
Like in the chapter before, like, the listener should know.
Yeah.
This is the kind of building, the description from the chapter, like where Trudy was kind of insulting the house where Gordon lives.
Yes. And
describing the house exactly as the house that I'm currently living in. In reality.
Exactly. And it's the house between the station and the school.
Okay.
So they have to walk the same way. So it makes sense that she's there on her way to school.
Yeah, I think sometimes they use the bus.
Yes, they use the bus, but the bus only drives to the station. And you're faster if you're walking by foot, especially if you're late.
Okay. So let's see into what kind of girl she did run into. I'm Marcy, damn it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Okay. Oh, what kind of voice does she have? She has like a bitchy... Oh, watch out, creep.
Marcy hissed at her and considered taking the girl's lunch money.
Just like stumbled into another girl and just like, okay, I immediately steal something from you.
Yeah.
Like, she's the kind of person I would be scared of in this situation.
The little girl, dressed all in black, stared up at her with curious brown eyes.
Oh no. Oh no. This makes... I think the listener who listened to the first season into this one now. Okay, what is she doing? This is still Marcy, right?
Marcy's current boyfriend.
Hey, babe! Step away from that little girl!
Marcy's current boyfriend, whose name is of no importance to the story, said.
I'm not scared of that little punk.
Marcy said and stepped closer to push her to the side. But she froze when she noticed the knife the little girl was holding.
Yeah.
Look at Mindy.
Sam just looked at me.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing with that?
Marcy said and raised her beautifully manicured hands defensively.
So this is not the girl?
Yeah.
What kind of voice could I give her? A young, small girl having a knife in her hand. Could be actually me.
So it should be your voice, but a little higher. Because you're younger. Or it should be a high voice pretending to be a low voice because she's really punk.
Oh my god, okay. I can just use maybe my normal voice, which at some point could be higher. So, looking for my friend. Have you seen her?
She held a missing poster showing a girl of the same age with blonde hair and blue eyes in front of her face.
Oh no, it's Lisa. She's searching for. People from the first season, you know, Mindy. Okay, now we know in which time frame this is playing, right? Yeah. This is the time when Lisa went missing in the first season, best friend of everyone.
Yeah.
And Mindy is now searching for her. So Marcy's like, no.
Marcy said, shaking her beautifully styled blonde hair after only a glance.
She also has blonde hair. Maybe they could become new best friends. Just looking at like the outside, like she's a completely different character to Lisa, right?
Yeah. And older.
Ah, yeah. That's also a thing. Lisa and Mindy are same age.
Lisa and Mindy are same age because you wrote them as like 13 years old.
Yeah.
And looking through my stuff, I know now, and I do remember they are 16 in the story. Because
okay.
I was younger, but I wanted to write cool people, and I imagined cool people to be like 16 years old.
Yeah, the cool people always like on the schoolyard.
Those who are smoking, those who are tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you sure?
The girl asked and raised the knife.
Why did Mindy... Okay, we don't know the girl's name.
No.
Why did the girl just raise her knife? Like, in a threatening way? Or she's like, oh, just playing with the knife? I could imagine both, actually. Like,
yeah. I'm playing with my knife. Look at me. Are you sure? Don't you want to look again?
Yeah, because she's normally like very... Okay, I assume the girl can be very nice and friendly, but sometimes does not take care of her like surroundings.
Yeah.
And when she plays with a knife, is maybe not so careful.
Yeah, true.
Just like, oh yeah, are you sure? Playing with a knife. And, yeah.
Quickly, Marcy glanced over her shoulder, wishing and expecting her boyfriend to help her. But the tall guy in his designer pants had already run away a whole while ago.
I was like, he saw the girl and just like, no.
With the knife, no, I'm not up for that.
I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the little girl with the brown hair played with the knife threateningly until Marcy took the poster and had a closer look. Moments passed and hope started to I can't read today. I'm so sorry. Moments passed and hope started to spread in the little girl's heart.
Aww. But Marcy's actually just looking at it, just like she has no idea who this person is. Like,
Actually, she's looking at her nails while she's
holding the poster. Yeah, the poster. But now in my head, I have like the little girl being uncomfortably close to Marcy with a knife, just like, do you remember this? Do you know this person? And Marcy's like, I don't know. Just try to, I don't know, gain some time and find a way to escape.
Yeah.
Oh. She does look familiar.
Frowning, Marcy looked up and suddenly pointed somewhere behind the little girl.
She's right over there. Lisa?
Mindy yelled as she spun around, breathing heavily, heart beating fast. Her eyes searched the street and the empty parking lot behind it. Frustrated, she realized that there was no one except for an elderly lady with a dog, and somewhere behind her, some guy in a weird costume. The older blonde girl Mindy had stumbled against had meanwhile used the distraction and hurried away, leaving one of her pink high heels behind.
So she actually planned. I was right! Finally! Marcy did exactly what I expected her to do.
Yeah. Mindy swore quietly and stabbed the lamppost beside her with her knife.
Oh my gosh.
Slowly, she leaned against the said post and slid down with her back towards it until she sat on the cold ground.
Oh. When did you include the name Mindy?
I did it over here because we're switching perspectives.
So right after Marcy says, yeah.
She's right over
your
there.
Friend is right over there, and then you change perspective to Mindy, and because Marcy is now gone, you also can include the name from the little girl.
Yeah, we're switching perspectives. We were walking with Marcy on the morning on the way to school, and if you film this, the camera pans over to the parking lot and to the weird guy in a costume, and then back to Mindy, and it's only Mindy. And I want to say a different name and not Marcy. And Marcy is gone, and now it's only Mindy, and the rest of the chapters from her perspective.
Yay! From Mindy's perspective, which I kind of like. Oh my God,
you can identify with it. You can identify with it.
I can identify with everything she's doing. Like every time when I search someone, I threaten them with a knife.
Yeah.
This is what I do in university. Oh my gosh. So she's very sad. I like that she puts the knife in the lamppost beside her.
Yes.
They're like,
Anger.
Anger.
Angie.
Oh, Angie Mindy. We need to take the meme that you sent to me like 1 year ago.
Yeah.
The angry
Angie cat.
and then just put Mindy there.
Yeah.
Sitting in the parking lot.
One of your chibi Mindys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I drew some chibi versions of her, so you can use them. So let's see.
With a sigh, she pulled out the pink brick-shaped phone she had stolen from the older girl. She had purposefully stumbled against.
Oh my gosh.
She was just stealing her phone.
Mindy is like such a criminal here.
She tried the PIN number 1234 and the phone was unlocked. The phone's background was a selfie of the girl hugging some guy, and Mindy wasn't sure if it was even the same guy that had ran away so cowardly earlier.
I like her like thinking process here.
Mm-hmm.
Like always including the guy who was so cowardly.
Yeah. From memory, she pushed in the number of the local prison. The phone beeped 8 times until someone took the call.
Oh no! Can I talk to Jim, please?
She whispered into the phone.
Can I talk to Jim, please?
She whispered into the phone.
Please? Please stop calling, miss.
The voice on the other end said and hung up.
Oh no!
She sat there quietly for a while and stared at the empty parking lot at the other side of the street, while her left hand held the sticker-covered phone clutched. Her right hand mindlessly pulled out grass and clovers from between the pavement stones.
Oh, this is actually something that I did.
Everyone did this. You're not special. It would have been
I
so
can't
fun. It would have been so fun if it was just a random thing.
I identify myself sitting on the ground.
It's what we used to do that. I don't know if kids who are growing up with phones who are not brick-shaped do that still, but yeah.
And maybe their hands are like busy
typing
with the phone or something, or playing some games, and so the hands don't leave the grip of the phone on the ground. They touch grass. Maybe.
Some people need to touch some grass.
Yeah.
Finally, Mindy sighed and snapped the phone shut. She would try to call again later.
But is it even normal to call a prison and can just say, can I talk to this prisoner, please? I don't think it's even legit. So it makes sense that the person is like, no, don't call us.
I think some prisoners are allowed like 1 hour of telephone a day.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not
you need
sure,
to, book times or something, because they also have like a tight schedule or anything doing prisoner stuff.
But it would also make sense for Mindy just looking up the phone number of the prison and trying to call Jim.
Oh yes, I can imagine her doing this.
Yeah,
but like, I can at least try, right?
Yeah, and I will try again later. Then she stood up, dusted off her black pants, pulled a fresh knife out of her coat, and continued to walk across the town to hang up and hand out even more posters of her missing best friend.
Oh. We know from first season that Mindy is very poor.
Yeah.
How did she print out so many posters? Where does they come from?
I don't know. Maybe she went to school and broke in at night and just used the printer room. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this makes sense.
She'd be late for school, and she was never late, but this day she didn't care. Mindy hung up the posters on trees and doors and windows and cars and houses.
On people.
Yeah.
I can imagine on a dog, on a
Tucker. So, the thing with the little metal things in their that really hurt when you put them in a person.
Yeah, but normally you use them to combine stacks of paper.
Yes.
Normally not for persons.
Is it called stacking?
Stacking?
Is it a stacking device?
I don't
know.
You don't really stack, but you combine the stack.
Yeah, true.
If anyone knows what we are talking about, please explain in the comments.
Yeah. As she covered the front of a TV shop in Lisa's face, she noticed that all the TVs were turned to the same channel. The church bells down the street rang and school was starting and the TVs were showing the local news.
Wait, so this is actually playing in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's in the morning.
Marcy was on the way to school with a new boyfriend.
With a new boyfriend, yes.
A new boyfriend, okay. And Mindy is just like running around in the morning, asking people and hanging posters.
Yes.
And then she tried to get to school.
Yes. A group of 3 people was shown. A handsome middle-aged man with blonde hair and piercing blue eyes wearing a white lab coat was interviewed by a journalist in a dark blue suit.
Oh, he's a handsome middle-aged man. I like that you included the handsome, yeah. He's actually very handsome, right? And I like that he always goes around with his lab coat.
Yeah.
he never wears anything else.
Yeah. First, the handsome lab coat man begged whichever person had stolen the little girl to bring his daughter back. He continued to ramble about prizes and rewards until begging turned into threats, and he promised to tear the whole city down until he had his favorite daughter back. Slightly behind him, Amber looked up at him, not showing any emotions.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we know from first season, this is Walter.
Yeah.
So, the father from Lisa's father, and he's a mad scientist, you can say.
Yeah.
He's actually mad. So,
yeah.
Weird and crazy.
And handsome.
And handsome. That's very important to mention because we are shipping him with another person, so we need to include he's handsome.
Yeah.
And his emotional intelligence is not the best.
No.
Like when his other daughter, Lisa's older sister, is standing behind him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I want my favorite daughter back." And like,
yeah,
poor Amber.
Yeah,
she's really. I would be very depressed with a father like him. Actually, even if he's like a genius, I would be sad.
Yeah.
But wasn't it like in the first season that Lisa was replaced by Paula?
Yeah, but you have to get there.
So it was not instantly, right?
In the first season, we find out who took Lisa, and this person doesn't have the means to replace her with someone else.
Yeah.
So other things have to happen before Lisa gets replaced by Paula.
True. I think we never really talked about why.
Yes, why and
Paula
how
was
it happened.
Actually
yes,
the replacement.
Yes.
And why there was also like a chip in Walter's brain.
Yes, exactly.
Ah.
This idea came to me when I listened to a song on the radio on my way to on my way home when my dad was driving me on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere in the song it said silicon chip, and then I remembered we never talked about the chip, and the idea wouldn't leave me alone.
True.
Yeah. And I think the first book is nicer if we don't explain it, but this makes it more fun to include in this book.
Yeah, just like some kind of open questions which were never answered. Also because like of the flow of the story, at some point it doesn't make sense to do an explanation because the characters have like different stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which is already very weird and exciting. So it's good that we didn't put like our focus there. We only have like, okay, this happened, but we don't know why. And then at some point we go back to this, which is very cool how we do it here.
Yeah. And where we leave the story, I don't think it would make sense to go back from the other dimension and have backflashes to the 7 years in prison and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
I think it makes more sense here. And I love the idea so much of the characters crossing paths. And
it's so funny.
Yeah, and in the first parts of the story, I will add something where the characters have more not meetings, but how they walk past each
like
other.
Encounters? No.
Encounters, yes, that's the perfect word. Encounters.
So we want to include more encounters of season 1 and season 2.
Yes.
And having like the same world, but different stories. Yeah,
Yes,
that's very nice. So let's see how it continues. And I like that you now included his name also.
Yeah. As Walter talked about the destruction he could cause, the pain he could spread, his anger, while raising his fist, the news reporting channel suddenly turned black. Then it showed an advertisement for a cooking show.
What is very... I would now say a Japanese word, yabai. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very yabai. Just using it. A word I cannot...
He's
dangerous.
He's such a diverse podcast.
Yeah. Including different languages and then no one understands. Yeah, he's it just means he's like a little bit dangerous. And
Taka und dabei.
Dabei. Oh my, yabai.
Mindy stepped back and turned away. The church bells had stopped ringing. The town was half covered in posters of Lisa, and Mindy was officially late for her first day in the new class.
Oh, it's in a new class.
Because the other class got slaughtered.
But this was, like, you said, like, how much time passed since Lisa got kidnapped here?
We don't know yet.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you remember, we had the time frame of something very bad happens in Mindy's class, and then she and Paula go away to the park.
Yeah, she first goes home, and she's like, oh, I have no parents, let's go to the park.
Yes.
And then they
meet the
Loopy.
Yes.
Just a summary from first season here, by the way.
Yeah.
And then
something bad happens in the park.
Oh, true. And then we have the 7.
And then we have the scene which I wrote and we read in the botanical garden, which had Lisa sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah.
She was watching the news about the bad things that happened at the park and at the school. And she was worried for Mindy because she wouldn't take her calls. And then the doorbell rings, she opens the door and she gets kidnapped. So Mindy, and in the 7 years, we talked about Mindy is at a different school now. And this is now the different school she goes to.
Ah, so she actually changed schools, right?
Yes, we
I don't know.
Elaborated that we switched schools.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't
because
make sense
everyone else at her old school is dead, so she has to go to a new one.
Yeah, I thought it was only the class, but no. Yeah. If I think about it, when I go to school and then like my whole classroom gets slaughtered,
yeah,
I think I also wouldn't go back to the school. I would be like traumatized for a while. Like I think Mindy is just like, oh, okay, everyone dead, but still, let's go to a different school or something.
But it's here we have, but she has to go to school.
Yeah, the problem is also she knows like who is responsible for killing the
kids,
and she's still like, okay, you should listen to season 1. The person who killed the children in school were Jim and Lucy.
Yes. And she's still friends with them.
So she is not actually traumatized by all of this, right?
I mean, probably not.
But
the way we wrote
itself maybe was closed down and she had to like,
the way I imagine it, there were just no kids left for the classes because this happens like every Wednesday and now they ran out of kids.
Ah, true.
The way we wrote it, it's more like that.
Yeah, I guess because also of Lucy, right?
Yes, because kids kept disappearing, sitting next to her. And yeah,
and when this happens, like on the first day, the kid like arrives there.
Yeah.
Then every day you have like one missing children, and then she maybe takes child, and then she takes maybe other child and
children.
Oh my
god,
very bad today.
Yeah,
and so at some point we also don't really know what she's doing with these children. So this is also like an open question.
Yeah, probably eating them.
Oh my gosh.
Or she's using them for...
I thought she's doing experiments on them.
I think she's using them for body parts. Because if you look at our animation on YouTube, Lucy looks very human, which...
Oh no!
And Jim, for example, doesn't.
Ooh, but Zen also does look human, right?
Yes. And so does Paula, but Paula fell into the juice.
Yeah, she's like a complete different thing. Like like Lucy, Zen, and Jim are all aliens of the same kind. Paula's just like a robot who turned into a human out of experiment or something. Yeah. Something weird happened, so we cannot take this as a comparison. Yeah, true. Lucy and Zen look like normal humans.
Yeah.
And Jim is like green skin, like having a wig or something. Antennas hanging around, but no one is realizing this.
He's very small.
He's very small, yeah. That's very gruesome, but I like the idea. I love this idea.
I knew you would like it.
Yeah. It's very dark, therefore I like it.
Yeah. I mean, we were writing basically horror romance.
Horror and romance.
Yeah.
Between people who do actually, like,
who commit war crimes.
Like, Mindy just stole the phone purposely from a girl she just, like, met. Yeah. Stumbled upon. And Walter's just like, oh yeah, if you don't bring back my daughter, I will destroy the whole world. Like, oh my god. And one is in prison. Like, other characters are so not likable, right?
I think they're very likable.
No one of them is a good person. No, not at all.
Perhaps Amber.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a lot from her. Like, she's just very depressed and sad of her father.
Yeah.
Like, I love the story.
Thank you. It had to get out of me.
That's good. If you have more nights where you don't sleep, you can also do more intermediate chapters.
Yeah, I will, perhaps.
Yeah. So this was actually, like, Mindy was officially late for her first day in the new class. The last sentence from this chapter. So,
yeah.
Chapter done.
Yeah.
Yeah, what... I like that we have, like, comments underneath the chapter.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do you think will happen next? Actually, I think we will just read the normal chapter next time.
Yeah.
From Small Sam.
Yeah.
And I think the assumptions for them we already said in the last episode.
Yes,
when we read it. So just go back to the last episode. And yeah.
Stay out of prison, kids.
Stay out of prison. Don't steal phones. Don't threaten
to burn the city down.
When your daughter is kidnapped or something.
Don't kidnap your daughter.
Don't kidnap your daughter. Your own daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, actually it makes sense.
Listen to the first season.
Oh my god.
Maybe re-listen to the first season if you listen to it already and it doesn't make sense now.
Yeah. Everything we said in this episode is spoiler.
Yeah.
You should include this like in the description of the chapter, like spoiler for season 1.
I mean, I said several times at the beginning of the chapter that you should have listened to season 1 and so season 2.
Yeah. So this is just like...
Who's still listening here and are upset that they heard spoilers? That's on you.
That's your fault, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have like...
The title could be Trigger Warning Spoilers.
I like this. Hashtag spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my. Yeah, so I liked it. Looking forward to where our story is, like your story is going.
Yeah.
Looking
It's our
forward
story.
to
I
more
mean,
encounters.
I'm writing it and you are in it.
Please write more about me.
Yeah. I was sending a screenshot to Mindy about a book I saw on Instagram, which had a Mindy in it. And Mindy talked about her wanting to read Mindy fanfiction again.
Oh yeah.
So
I was missing stories about myself.
yeah.
now I seem like the biggest narcissistic person out there. Is it not narcissistic? Yeah, I guess so.
Not the biggest narcissist out there.
Narcissist out there. Like, write stories about me.
Yeah.
Praise.
No,
not even praise me.
no.
Like the stories about me stealing stuff and being weird to people.
Threatening people with knives.
People with knives.
Having a lot of knives.
That's my own characteristics. No. I'm calling the prison almost every day, 3 times.
Yeah.
So, if you want to figure out more about season 1 and season 2, maybe you can go to our social media, which is Instagram,
Fiction After Lunch,
Tumblr,
Fiction After Lunch,
YouTube,
Fiction After Lunch,
Twitter,
Fiction and Lunch.
and you can also support us on Patreon or Coffee, also Fiction After Lunch. And please rate and review wherever you can. This would be a huge help and we would really appreciate it.
Yeah. If you send us a screenshot of a 5-star review from wherever you could review and a prompt, Sam will write a little 500 to 750 word story for you, which we will read on the podcast. Prompt can be from season 1 or 2 or and 2 at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, but it can also be a fan fiction if we talked about the series before on the podcast. If you
TGCF, please. What?
I will not. You can. If someone sends a prompt about heaven's official blessing, then Mindy has to write it. I'm not writing it.
Oh yes, let me write it. But I cannot say 500 to 750. Okay, I can manage this.
This is like half of what we just read.
Yeah, I can manage it.
Yeah. This was 1,000 words, roughly.
Mm-hmm. So, that was everything for today. Mm-hmm. What should be our last sentence?
She has a knife.
She has a knife. Please stop calling me.
Please stop calling Miss.
Yes. Just like, please stop calling.
Okay, please stop calling.
Okay. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, listen to the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1.
Please stop calling.
Bye-bye. Bye.